Miniature Market has thousands of board games at discounted prices. Click the direct link below to see all of those discounted games. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. With St. Patrick's Day coming up, I thought it'd be fun to do the top 10 lucky games for casual gamers. Now, this is for people that maybe don't play a whole lot of games throughout the year. Maybe they know Monopoly and Uno and Cards Against Humanity, maybe Ticket to Ride and things like that, but they're not like gamer enthusiasts. So this is a list for those. These games are gonna, first of all, they're all available today. You can get them. They're all for sale somewhere new. You can get into them pretty easily. They don't have a high rules overhead. They're very light. You can just bring them to parties, bring them to your St. Patrick's Day party if people don't play a lot of games, and they're easy to get into. So here we go.
Number 10.
The first one is called Welcome to the Dungeon. Now, this is a game where you're basically trying to get through a dungeon alive. And so the way this works, it's a sort of a press your luckish style game where there's going to be a dungeon, there's going to be a certain amount of monsters in this dungeon, and on your turn, you're deciding to either take equipment away from the person going in the dungeon, or adding a card to the dungeon. And so what happens is you get to the point where it's almost like a game of chicken, where it's like, ooh, yeah, I think I can make this, I can get through, but I'm gonna have to take the shield away. And that's when the next person's like, yeah, I can get through, but I'm gonna take the sword away. And at some point, someone's gonna go, no way, I'm out. Nope. And the last one standing essentially has to go through the dungeon. Now, if they make it through the dungeon twice throughout the entire game, they win. However, if they die twice, they're out. So you win by either being the first one to go through twice, or be the last one standing, getting everyone else to go through the dungeon when it's too hard, and watching them die. It's fun, it's quick. Each little dungeon run takes like 5 minutes. It's a quick and easy game, 20 minutes. Welcome to the dungeon.
Number 9.
The next one is Flip 7. This was on my sort of party game of the year list for 2024. This is a quick and easy sort of gambling style game or press your luck game where you're getting cards, and these cards, there's like 12 12s, 11 11s, all the way down to like 1 1. And you're getting these cards flipped in front of you, and you have to decide, kind of like blackjack, do you hit or you stay? If you ask to be hit and you get a card and that matches any other cards, you bust and all the points you get are gone. So you want to get more, but if you get 7 unique cards, ends the round and you get a bonus. There's also some special cards that allow you to mess with other people, allow you to give you second chances. It is a light game. It's really fun. It's one of those games that has some stand-up moments, hooting and hollering when certain things get flipped and the table erupts. It can create some really fun moments. An easy style press your luck game, Flip 7.
Number 8.
This next one is not your standard press your luck style game. This is a game based on the Willy Wonka movie called The Golden Ticket. That's the name of the game, The Golden Ticket. And this is a game where you're essentially on your turn taking actions, moving around to different areas and managing different things, resources, currency, but essentially you're trying to use all these things and actions to get tickets. Because at the end of the game, now these tickets are literally going to get you bars of chocolate, and they look exactly like bars of chocolate. You're going to get a bunch of them, hopefully by the end of the game. And at the end of the game, depending on the amount of players, you will open your chocolate, just like in the movie, and you'll see if it has the golden ticket in it. If you get a golden ticket, you win. It's crazy. It has the ending of a popular game that I don't like called Killer Bunnies, where like, hey, you could have 1 bar, somebody else could have 9 bars, and you actually, very small chance, but could win. It really is fun. It also has an advanced side for a little more strategy. Silly little game. It's a fun theme, fun actions, and the end is just swingy but fun. Golden Ticket.
Number 7.
The next one is a press your luck game called Dead Man's Draw. This is one of those games that you can teach as you play it, which is fun. You flip over a card. It has different types of people in there. You have mermaids and you have gunners and you have different types of things, and each of them have sort of a special ability. Now, if you flip and a second one comes out of the same one, you bust and you get nothing. But the interesting thing is, not only do the abilities do things like, hey, hooking a card back in, or taking a card from someone else, or blowing up a card that somebody else has, or, hey, I have to flip 3 more cards and I didn't really want to. All these different things, some of them are really helpful, some of them are not, but at the end, you only score the highest value of each of the suits. So you might have 5 of a certain color, but you're only getting the value for the first one. So it changes your decision space of when you want to stop and when you want to push. It's really fun, 2 to 4 players, quick, teach it as you go. It's a fun little game. It has a little back and forth, lots of player interaction, messing with people. It's a fun light game, Dead Man's Draw.
Number 6.
The next one was actually a nominee for German Game of the Year last year, Spiel des Jahres, Captain Flip. This game is fun because you're pulling a tile from a bag and you're looking at one side and you're deciding, do I want to put this on my ship or do I want to press my luck and flip the token over? If I flip it over, I have to keep it. Now, some of all these tiles do different things. Some of them want to be stacked on top of, like in the top row of the ship. Some of them interact with things that are next to other tiles. Some of them get you good things, but if you get 3 of the bombs, you lose a ton of points. Or I think you might even lose the game. I forget. Some of them interact with other players, and some of them are like, hey, if you have the map, then every time it's your turn, you're getting a coin. It's all about getting coins in this game. But it's really fun because you're building out your own ship, you're building out the columns of your ships. There's multiple different ships you can play with that have the slightly different heights of the different aspects of the ships, the different bonuses you can get. But in turn, you're pulling one out, deciding to keep it, where to keep it, and then do I want to flip it to press my luck or not? It's simple, it's fun, there's some interactions with other players. It is a lot of fun, Captain Flip.
Number 5.
This next one is a game where everyone sort of plays at the same time. It's a dice rolling game called On Tour, where you're taking your band across the United States. Simply, someone's going to roll 2 dice. Everyone is using those same 2 dice, and you're saying, where on your board of cities in America are you putting that? And you're trying to make your tour route, because at the end of the game, you're trying to make your longest contiguous route going from the lowest number to the highest number. And the amount of cities you get to is going to be your points. There's also some bonus cities you can go to and things like that. But it's really fun, it's really easy, and the luck here is simply, you are pressing your luck in a way that like, you are creating your own board and your own route, and you're pressing your luck because you're like, ooh, if I put it here, that means I'm only going to be able to get between numbers 25 and 33 here, but if I get through this little spot, then it's going to really open up. Or do I want to go the other route, leaving myself more options, but possibly not having the long enough route? So you're sort of pushing the luck on your own with your own decisions because everyone is getting the same dice and you're not re-rolling the dice. There's no mitigation here. You're rolling it and you're getting it. So that's pretty much it. But when you roll a die, it could be, if it's a 5 and 8, it could be a 58 or an 85. So there is some mitigation, but you're not like changing the dice, if you will. It's fun. It's quick and easy. You can play with as many players as you want if you buy a couple copies. It's a lot of fun. On Tour.
Number 4.
This next one is a game that has a press your luck element, but it also has an auction element too. This is called 10, T-E-N. Now in this game, you're trying to press your luck by flipping cards. And you're trying to get numbers that you want because at the end of the game, each color you have, you're going to score a point for the longest contiguous run of sequential numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 points in orange, for example. But you might have gaps in there, but then there's some wild cards you could fit in there. Now the trick is when you're pressing your luck, there's 2 ways to bust. You can bust by having too high numbers in there, but you can also bust by getting currency, because what happens is some of the cards give you currency, which actually makes it less likely to bust. But you can also possibly bust if you get too much currency. So there's like 2 different ways to bust. They're both at odds with each other. But you use that currency because if you don't bust and you take things, the things that people busted on earlier, you actually get to buy from a market for face value. So it has an economic aspect. It has a market aspect. Another reason not to press your luck because you really want to buy the 1 orange out there or 5 orange to fit in a slot. There's some wilds on there that really make you want to auction those off. It's a lot of fun. It has more going on than just a normal press your luck game, but it's really fun. 10.
Number 3.
This is one of my favorite press your luck games called Push. In this game, you are pressing your luck, pushing cards, pushing your luck, having cards come out, and trying not to bust, have 2 of the same suits there. The thing is, when you get cards and you stop, you take those cards and you put them by color. Now, all the numbers of those colors could be points for you at the end of the game. However, if you sometimes you'll end up having to get rid of them, because sometimes players are going to stick you with cards that make you roll a die. And when you roll that die, the color that comes up, you got to get rid of all those colors. So I have a ton of reds stashed. Someone makes me roll the die of death, and I roll a red. I lose all my reds. But for your turn, instead of getting more cards and pushing your luck, you can skip your turn and flip over a certain color and keep them for good no matter what. So there's some mitigation there. The cards, when to stop and force people to take cards that make them roll dice to possibly lose things is a lot of fun. And deciding when to push your luck is fun. This game is one of the best push your luck games out there called Push.
Number 2.
This next game is not a push your luck game. This is probably the most different game on this list, but I need to put it here because I absolutely love it. And it is great at parties, and I'm thinking about this for St. Patrick's Day parties. This is called Ready, Set, Bet. Now I must caveat this with, if you're playing this with a group of people at a party that don't play a lot of games, there's rules in this game. The very basic rules are perfect. There are some advanced rules. Some of them are actually part of the main rule set that I would tell you not to use. In this game, it's a real-time betting game. I also will tell you there's a companion app that you want to download that will run the game for you. It'll roll the dice, it'll move the horses. You want to put that up on like a tablet or stream it to a TV where everyone can see it. And these horses are going to be running to the end. And everyone in real time is betting with chips. Which number? I think number 7 is going to win. I'm going to put it on win. Well, no one else is going to be able to select win. Maybe I want to have them so they're going to come in second place or third place. The more riskier the bet, the more payoff there are. And since their numbers and dice are being rolled, it's more likely that number 7 is going to win. But the odds aren't as good. It's just the odds are better, you win less. There's all different ways of doing this. If horses get rolled twice in a row, they get this huge bonus jump. The basic game's great. There's also extra cards that come out with VIPs that give you different ways of scoring at the end. There's also special ability cards. There's also extra bets, proposition bets. I would play with 0 extra things, regardless of what the rules say, if you're bringing this to just a casual party. This game has created some of the best memories in games, period. It is so fun. In fact, and in the app, if you do a guest announcer, I actually announce one of the races there, so you can hear me call them. I actually named all the horses out by name, which is kind of fun. But if you like, it's amazing. Real-time horse betting, where people are jumping up and down, yelling for their horse to win. It is so fun. Not pressing your luck, but trying to be the first to bet for the right horses and trying to seize the opportunity of the moment of the right time to bet on the right horse. And of course, it's lucky because literally the game is rolling dice for you and they're moving horses and you're betting on them. It is a blast. Nothing will make you feel the excitement. Not that I think that going to horse tracks is exciting, because that's a different topic for another time. But the excitement of all the hoot and holler and the betting and trying to win, this game's amazing. This is actually my favorite game of the list, but I didn't put it as number 1 because I think it might be a little harder for some groups to get into, just because you got to be in that moment to be yelling and hoot and hollering, and not every time is for that. But Ready, Set, Bet's amazing.
Number 1.
Now, before I get to my number 1, I just want to let you know that right now, my Season 13 fundraising campaign on Kickstarter is up, where you can get almost or about 100 individual promos for about $50. There's also plenty of game bundles in there, like signed copies from designer Vital Lacerda. You're also getting game bag, a very nice backpack game bag for free to go with all that, with a Game Boy Geek embroidery on it. Promos, tons of promos from the hottest new games like Windmill Valley and SETI and you name it, and some standards like Sagrada. Anyways, if you'd like to support me and you'd like to get some cool gamer stuff, check out Game Boy Geek Season 13 on Kickstarter, and I'll put a link below for you on that. All right, my number 1 here is because I think this is the surest thing, plus it's got the name Lucky in the name of it. This is called Lucky Numbers. This is a fantastic game where you're just trying to fill a grid of 16 numbers. The trick is, going from left to right and going from top to bottom, all the numbers must be ascending. They don't have to be directly ascending like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it has to be like 1, 5, 10, 12, and so on. And on your turn, you're either taking a random shamrock, flipping it over and seeing what the number is, and you must place it. Or, if you can't place it or you don't want to place it, you leave it face up for other people. On your turn, you can take one of the face-up ones that people have done. Now, when you place one, you can replace one that's already there. So I might take a number, I replace one, that number I'm replacing goes out as a possible number that other people can take. So you're either taking a random one or taking one you can see. You're either placing it in an open spot or replacing a spot that's there and giving that as a possible opportunity for other people to take. Super easy. Do I want a random one that I can't see, or do I want one of these numbers somebody else left or exchanged for me? The strategies are deeper than it looks at first. Yes, there's a lot of luck in this game. Yes, it's called Lucky Numbers. But there's actually way more depth and subtle strategies in this game, depending on what people are going for, what their board looks like, what numbers are out there. There's only one of each number per player. So if there's 3 players, there's only 3 sevens. And you can see what's there. You can see what's out there. You can see what's possible to be left. There's some probabilities you can run in your head. I love this because it's one of the easiest ones to get in on this list, but it also probably has more depth than you would imagine. That's why it's my number 1, Lucky Numbers. All right, I hope I helped you find out about 10 different games that you can get today for casual gamers on St. Patrick's Day or for St. Patrick's Day parties. If you're interested in a little bit heavier games, I'm doing another list early next week called the top 10 lucky games for gamer enthusiasts. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe so you'll be notified when it comes out. This has been a Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships through board games, helping you find the next one you love.
Game Toppers upgrades every game you play, and their 4.5 Kickstarter introduced the new Galactic Minecraft and Watson Game Toppers with interchangeable rail inlays, as well as new game mats, miniature gaming terrain packs, leg kit options, dining covers, accessories, and amazing package deals. The campaign recently ended, but it's not too late to pledge late at GameToppersLLC.com.